Hey, Vintage Gamers. This is a very impromptu video. Obviously, it's on my phone. I'm holding it with my hand, and it'll probably get tired, so sorry if the camera moves around and stuff. And I'm not in a normal spot. I'm kind of in my TV gaming room where I play, like, more modern stuff, but that's besides the point. So, if you haven't heard, I am not used to filming without a tripod or whatever, but anyway, if you haven't heard, AtariAge, a website I have adored for over 2 decades, uh, just the best resource for anything Atari, and even mostly probably my go-to place, even if I have questions about like an Apple II or an old Sega system or whatever. The people there are so just nice and friendly and very, very helpful on the forums. But AtariAge got bought. The website got bought by, drumroll please, Atari. That's interesting, concerning. It's several things. The guy that I have been on those message boards since 2000, possibly 99, but definitely 2000. And the guy that runs AtariAge, his name's Albert. I don't know him personally. He's somewhere in Texas, as I recall. But over the years, we've exchanged a message here and there. If you said, hey, Mark from Vintage Gamer, he probably would know. But over the years, we have kind of crossed paths on forums and stuff. And, he's kept it up for a long time. And I know it's a labor of love. I met him very briefly at the Classic Gaming Expo in 2002 in Las Vegas. Super nice guy. But I kind of thought, wow, he must just be tired. I mean, I'm not sure when the site went live. I've been on it since 2000. It was probably a couple years old at that point. So figure at least 25 years, quarter of a century. That's, yeah, I established, quote unquote, vintagegamer.com in 99, but it has not obviously been something I've spent a bunch of my life working on. So that's congrats to him, because I'm sure he got a payday for that. And, first and foremost, congrats to him. The other side of that is apparently he will be staying on the website. He will basically be a company historian of sorts, and an Atari employee. So that's kind of cool. I think we'd all like to get a paycheck from Atari. Not to mention a big fat check for selling them some intellectual property or something, right? So good for Albert. Congrats to him. But my concern, Atari has acquired some other things. And people are kind of sour on Atari. It's not what it once was. It's not technically the same company, whatever. They own the IP. They own the logo, the name, all that. It's the same company in my opinion, with an asterisk. I mean, is General Motors the same company it was before 2008? It still has Chevy and Buick and Cadillac and stuff, but kind of, sort of. It's not. I get how it's not a black and white issue sometimes for everyone, but yeah, I mean, like the Atari 2600 Plus that's coming out, I consider that an Atari system, as do I the VCS. So yeah, it's Atari. So that's where I stand on that, first of all. I am a little concerned. AtariAge has been a tremendous free resource for the classic gaming community. And I hope it stays that way. All the access to all those manuals, those cartridge scans they have, the immense database of Atari info they have, I really, really hope that stays free. If they want to monetize the site with an ad here or there, fine. Don't start charging me a membership. That's, I'm sure, not only going to piss me off, but a whole lot of other gamers. Don't start charging for your message boards. I would, if you want to commercialize it a little bit, sounds like the AtariAge store is going to still be there. And if Atari corporate will add a bunch of things there, whatever, merch, hardware, software, whatever, that's probably a good idea. But I think the best move is to incorporate it to a degree, but maybe also let them. It's been successful now for 2.5 decades, so maybe also let AtariAge be AtariAge. That's kind of my thought on that. There's I'm sure there's some more ways to monetize that site and whatnot, but please, Atari, do not. I really hope you don't want to put it all behind a paywall, because good God, please don't do that. We don't need that. It's bad enough with streaming and downloadable content and all that other crap. We just don't need that. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm not saying Atari is going to do that. I have no idea what their plans are. But I think I think it's interesting, especially with the 2600 plus coming out. There's obviously corporate has interest in their history and the software and the hardware, and they're trying to make Atari relevant again. So in that regard, this is a good thing. Atari arguably hasn't been relevant in almost 40 years, but I mean, certainly not since the failure of the Jaguar. So, it would be interesting to see another, there seems to be a willingness to put their big toe in the hardware market and stuff. And I think if they do this, I think we're a couple generations out still, but at some point, maybe we see another Atari console. Not a retro thing, but a modern thing. I know there's a lot of us that wish Sega still made hardware, but it would be very interesting to see a new a new competitor enter the ring, and because all the DLC stuff from the folks over at and I realize it's the developers, not necessarily the hardware manufacturers, but a lot of us are very fed up with Microsoft and Sony's products. I know I am. It's one reason I still use a Switch, is because I can get a physical game. I hope the next generation of Nintendo is the same way. I like my physical games. Even if it's catering to a slightly older crowd, maybe there's room for another hardware person to come in. I don't know. That's very, very speculative and very, very early, but it would be it would bring an interesting twist to the plot, right? But that aside, they at least seem to be showing an interest in wanting to make their brand relevant and not just be a nostalgia thing that licenses T-shirts and stuff. And so for that, I applaud them. I am looking forward to the 2600 plus. I've ordered mine. And, we'll see where it goes from here. But bottom line, congrats to Alex. I know how hard he works on that site. And, hopefully things stay the same, and anything that changes, hopefully it works out to be a good thing. That's it. I'd love to know what you think. Am I way off? Is that nuts? Are we all doomed? Whatever. Let me know down there. So I'll talk to you guys later.